Hi all, thanks for joining me for the next video in my series of getting golf fit for after COVID-19. Obviously we worked in the setup routine on the first video to start in the right position, and as promised we're now going to look at the body motion I'm looking for in a good golf swing. Starting point for that though, I'll often ask my pupils as to a big question really as to what area of the golf swing they feel generates the power for the golf shot, and I'll give them three answers to choose from when asking this. First one will be the backswing area, okay, secondly will be the downswing motion, and thirdly will be the through swing or follow through. Really interesting because I like to understand how people are thinking regards golf shots and where the power comes from. If I break those results down, I would say that generally 1 person out of 10 will say it's the backswing, 8 out of 10 will say it's the downswing motion, and 1 out of 10 will say it's through swing or follow through. So we can see there the majority of people are coming to me with a mindset that it's the speed of the downswing that generates power. I want to get people thinking a little bit differently, because from what I've got to say today I'll sort of show and prove that that's not the area we're looking for that. Okay, so that 1 out of 10 who'll say it's the backswing, they are correct, and why are they correct? Well, what I'm looking for in a good golf swing, I'm always looking for a good coil of the upper half of the body against the lower half of the body in the backswing. That's coiling up. You'll see here I'm coiling my shoulders as I'm doing this 90 degrees from a square position, and I'm also coiling my hips 45 degrees, half of that to that position also. Imagine a spring, and we coil a spring and we let that spring go, we have power and energy. So to actually generate power for the golf swing, the backswing is the area that does that. So a couple of exercises that I want to give you guys to work on today, and again mobility allowing that you can do this, but once I know I've made a full 90 degree rotation with my shoulders in the backswing, I know that I'm on full power to hit that golf shot. So what I don't categorically do is try and hit the ball harder in the downswing or force the downswing to add power. What that often means, when a lot of people do this, it means a loss of control in the downswing, actually a lack of power when they come to strike the ball, and a lot of people sort of come over the top and come across the golf ball from there. So I really try and change and rewire the brains of people a little bit for when it comes to golf shots, to understand what is the power source. So some exercises for you guys to do. So I would ask you to do 2 minutes a day. It can be an alignment stick, it can be a golf club, it can be a broom handle, it can be anything here, but you'll see here from my posture position I'm going to coil 90 degrees. Okay, I'm going to hold that position for a few seconds when I get there, and I'm going back to square. Again, coil 90. You can see from here I'm working a good right angle, a good 90 degrees. That's showing me that I'm working to that correct full position in the backswing. Okay, just to show that a slightly different way, for argument's sake, if I only coiled or turned my shoulders 60 degrees in the backswing, potentially that would only be 2/3 of the power of potentially what I could get from a 90 degree position. So by that shorter turn, then that isn't giving me the power that I potentially could be getting. So 90 degrees, really important to be achieving. But often this is just a case of educating the body what we want it to do and just practicing these exercises. So 2 minutes a day of that. I like if you've got a mirror or something to look into, it's even better, because just notice what my head's doing as I'm coiling up, staying still. Okay, you're not seeing me moving in a big way off to the right as I see with a lot of people as they're coiling up. Head's pretty still and I'm working that 90 degree position. Okay, so that's 2 minute exercise for you to improve the shoulder rotation. Dropping down to the hips, and rule of thumb is if the shoulders turn 90, the hips turn 45. So here into my posture, 45 and hold. Okay, back to square, 45 and hold, back to square. Okay, and again, so 2 minutes of that also, just educating the body what we want to do it in the backswing. Okay, so if I put those moves together, swap the alignment stick for a golf club and do that now into my posture position and setup position that I had before, and now from there I'm going to rotate back. So there's my 90 degree rotation. At this point If I had a ball on the floor, I'm looking at the ball directly over my left shoulder. But if we just look down here, my hips have turned 45 also. So there is me in my fully coiled position, and that's me fully ready to go into the downswing from there. So very important that we get that full 90-degree rotation, shoulders 45 hips. Another little exercise just to help you, because backswing isn't purely just body motion. There is also a little bit of wrist action that a lot of the time naturally happens in golf swings. But a little exercise to help you guys with that also is if I stand at this angle, and what I'm going to do, I've got the shaft of the club parallel to the floor. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that shaft to a vertical position. Okay, like I say, probably had a little crack in my wrist or two there, back down to that horizontal position, up to vertical. So you see there guys, I'm working my wrists through a 90-degree angle. Why do I like this as a practice move? Two things really. We are looking for sort of unconsciously a 90-degree wrist hinge in the backswing as we go back, but also to be able to do that, you have to be gripping that club at the correct pressure. Again, we touched on it in the first lesson, but if I'm 10 out of 10 and I try hinging my wrists, and I'm trying, you can see there, it's not going to happen. If I've got that nice 3 out of 10 pressure, that's pretty easy to do. So when you look at me in the backswing now, and you're seeing here, so I'm coiling up, but naturally, you can see there is quite a wrist angle I've created there also. So that's me at the top of the backswing, ready to move into the downswing. So some exercises for you guys there to work on. Get coiling better, get coiling fully. Let's generate full power, and then in the next session we'll work on the downswing and then into the through swing from there. So thanks for your time. See you again soon.